Hi, I'm Regina Peterburgsky from Women on Amazon, and I'm thrilled to be here on the Global Sources online show today. And I'm going to be talking about using messenger chatbots for keyword rankings on Amazon in 2020. So firstly, who am I? Well, I've been an Amazon seller since I launched my very first product on August 1st in 2015. I currently sell in the USA, of course, also UK, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and in fact, I was Australia's first third-party seller. So prior to my time on Amazon, I've been a bit of a jack of all trades. I've been a retailer, a wholesaler, a fashion designer. I've traveled the world as a tour director, and I've been in sales of all sorts over the years. My Amazon experience, well, I followed the bouncing ball. I did a training. I found a product. I differentiated my product so it was different to all the others out there. And I built a brand. And what I've done over the years is I've been able to sell my product to the same customers over and over and over again. And every time I have a new product, I launch it in a proper launch way rather than just stick it on Amazon and hope it sells. And I've had some success. Let me brag a little bit. I launched, as I said, my first product in August of 2015 and was able to get some pretty good success pretty fast. I was very, very excited when I had my first December. And then within a couple of years, I was able to achieve some amazing results. My favorite day ever on Amazon, I sold a little under $240,000 worth of product in a single day. So very pleased with myself that particular day. So let's talk a little bit about launching and why you want to launch. Well, first and foremost, you want to make sure your product is ranking on Amazon for your keywords so that customers can find you. Because if they can't find you, they won't buy. So the thing that Amazon has that will allow customers to find you is the A9 algorithm. So historically on Amazon, I have used a number of different ways and services to launch my products. Way back when my very first launch, I used a service called Thomason, which was a way to give out coupon codes to micro-influencers. Also have used Facebook giveaway groups that were very prevalent at the time. I've used professional launch services like Viral Launch and Zomblast. In all of those cases, we used a 99% off discount code and a super URL to trick Amazon into thinking that customers were buying our product via a specific keyword. Now, all of those different strategies worked until they didn't. It's always a little bit of a cat and mouse game with Amazon. As soon as we find something that works, Amazon thinks, well, quite rightly so, that we're trying to trick them, and so they shut it down or find ways to stop that, and they change their terms of service. So what is working now that actually is currently terms of service compliant? Well, right now, the best way to launch and rank your product on Amazon is through sustained. So that's multi-days. So 7 to 10 days tends to be best. Full price buys of a product found through a natural search for your targeted keyword. So why does that work? Well, from Amazon's point of view, what they are seeing is that a customer is coming to Amazon from an outside traffic source. So in our case, from a Facebook. They are searching organically via a keyword, and they are buying the product at full price. So those three things from an A9 point of view means Amazon gives us and our product quite a lot of love. So as a seller, how do we do this? Well, there are a number of different ways that are currently working, and all of them are great for different reasons. So we've got Rebate Key and other pure rebate services. There's done for you boutique type rebate services. There are numbers of chatbots that have got quite sophisticated API integrations and lots of bells and whistles, or you can create your own very simple rebate chatbot. So let's talk about those 4 different things. So the first one is a rebate key, which is a paid service, and it's fantastic. It works, it's hands-off, so you give them your product details and you give them some money and they will send out the product and rebate the customers on your behalf. So it's hands-off, it's reasonably inexpensive, and it is effective. However, in my opinion, it does have some negatives, and those are that you cannot control who is buying your product. You can't follow up directly with those people for customer service or a review. And most importantly, in my eyes, is you're not building any brand assets. You're not creating a list of product testers, people that you can use for your next product launch. Next, there are boutique style done-for-you services. Again, these are extremely effective and totally hands-off. So they can actually be quite expensive. So up to $15 a unit or more, plus often there is a setup fee. Also, you do not have control of your buyers again, and you do not have an ability to personally follow up. And you're not building any kinds of brand assets. There are a number of complicated bots out there. Again, you have a lot more control of your target customer. You are building brand assets, and they are very, very effective. Now, I personally find them to be a little bit too complicated to set up. They have a lot of tricky integrations and a lot of moving parts, which means 2 things. Firstly, because they can be tricky, often people don't actually implement them. And more importantly, if something goes wrong and one of those little integrations stops working and you don't know which one it is, you can spend hours trying to figure out what went wrong. Not only that, they can actually be quite expensive. I personally, over the years, have found out how I can build myself a very simple bot, which is effective, builds my brand assets. I can control who my customer is through targeted Facebook ads. Simple to implement, cost effective. There's no real outside costs. I pay $10 a month to my chatbot supplier. My ad costs run at less than generally $1 per unit to give away. I don't have any tricky integrations, very few moving parts, and because it's simple and easy, more likely to implement. So, who am I to do this? I've been using chatbots for well over 3 years now, and I've used them for numerous different things in my Amazon business, including giving away 10, 20, 30% off discount codes in order to spike sales. I've used them to collect email addresses from my actual customers. I've used them to improve reviews on my product listings. I've used them for flash sales. I've also used them to drive traffic to my listing during Amazon's promotions, for example, Prime Day. I've used them for keyword ranking using quite a sophisticated add to cart strategy, which I won't be talking about today. I have used them for a keyword ranking using rebates, which is what we're talking about today. And I've also trained other Amazon sellers in how to use rebate and messenger chatbots for their products. I'm not a geek. I am, in fact, a technophobe. And so I prefer to keep things super, super simple. Or in my case, they don't get done. So how do we do this? Well, it's quite a simple strategy. Let me walk you through it. First and foremost, you need to create a very simple image ad on your brand page for your product, or in some cases, some Amazon sellers prefer to have a deals page. And on that ad, we invite product testers for the launch of our new product. When they click, they then go from the ad to a pre-built messenger flow. Now, I use ManyChat, and this flow actually guides them step by step on the rules and what they can expect and how they can purchase my product. The bot, after they've done that, then asks them for their order ID and PayPal address. And in this time, you can actually integrate a Google Sheet, so you don't have to individually go through every single message to find them. So you can integrate a Google Sheet, which will give you the customers' names, order IDs, and PayPal addresses. And once you have that, you either yourself or your VA can manually reimburse the customer once Amazon ships the product. Now, I personally use PayPal. You can, if you wish to, use Amazon gift cards. The one proviso I'd make there is if you're using a gift card is to make sure that you purchase Amazon gift cards using a different email address and different Amazon account than your Seller Central account so that they are not linked. And then if you choose to, you can go back to check in with your customers to see how they liked their product and ask them for a review if appropriate. Now I've got 3 stars linked to that because this is very, very, very important. In no circumstances, either in your advertising or in your bot, can you state or imply that they will only get their rebate for the product if they leave a review. This is totally against terms of service, and the 2 things cannot be linked. Okay, you are able to ask them for a review after they've bought the product. However, you cannot link the 2 things together. You cannot say, and we still see ads on Facebook from some sellers who are doing this, where they say rebate after review. You cannot do that and remain within terms of service, which is what we're trying to do here. Please take that and drill that into your head. A few other things that you need to take a note of. Firstly, when using this strategy, you actually need to give away far fewer units than you would normally under a 99% off discount code in order to affect the algorithm. The discount codes actually still do work. So you can still run that strategy. However, you need to give away far more units using discount codes than you do have full price buys. If your product is not in the top 2 or 3 pages on a mobile search, it is actually very difficult to get customers to buy using a genuine search, find, buy. So in that case, I do recommend you use some kind of super URL, and there are a number of generators that you can use to create that. So this mimics a search, find, buy type link. Now, you only want to do that for the first few days until your product gets onto the first 2 or 3 pages. And in that case, you switch to a bot that has a search, find, buy instructions in your chat flow. And what that entails is actually leading the customer by the hand and telling them exactly what they need to do. For example, go to Amazon. Step 2, search using this keyword. Step 3, find this product, and here's a picture of my product. Step 4, buy the product, etc. So you actually need to very slowly lead the customer through that in your chat flow. And I think probably most importantly, when it comes to launching your product, you need to make sure that your product actually belongs and looks like it belongs on page 1 for the keyword you're targeting. Because if the organic sales don't actually start kicking in when you rank on page 1, you will not remain on page 1. You will lose rank pretty quickly once your promotion is over. The reason that you're actually doing any kind of ranking promotion is to get yourself to page 1 so that people will buy organically. If they don't, then you really need to go back and have a look at your listing, make sure it belongs both in terms of what the product is and how your listing conveys your product and, of course, your price. So here's what my chatbot flow actually looks like from the back end. So you can see we take them through and they can get the rules, they get instructions. Now this is the one that uses super URLs, so it's quite a simple instructions. It shows you what the product is. Now here I've actually used a randomizer that takes people through 4 different keywords. So this is a little bit more of a sophisticated strategy, because what this does is it gives Amazon a little bit more of an organic feel, because we're sending people to 4 different keywords. You can choose to do that, or you can just simply target one. It's completely up to you. And then we are at the end of this flow asking people permission to contact them again for future rebates. And then the other flow is this one. This is exactly the same. However, instead of using a super URL, we're actually in here giving the customers instructions on using keywords to buy the product organically. So that's pretty much it. It's super simple. If you wish to get a hold of those particular bots that I've just shown you and the training that comes with them, you can go to this link. Feel free to reach out to me on Messenger or email, and via my podcast or website, womenonamazon.com. I hope that you've learned something from this training.